Hey guys, welcome back to some more questing on LOTRO, and today I decided to make this new outfit for Celeste since we're going to be spending a lot of time playing on her. So first things first, we need to hand in a quest to this lovely elf here, Nen.
Swilad Melon.
Your name is well known, Celeste. It is not often that a hero of your stature visits me. I will honor you as Lord Duillond honors you. Please, accept these as a token of welcome in these lands. Speak with me again and look among my wares. You may find something there to your liking, and I will gladly barter for what you desire.
Swilad Melon.
He also
Will you stay a
has a quest for us. Our time is closing in this land. Soon we will be but legend and memory to the mortals who will remain upon these shores. While we are still here, however, we must do what we can to ensure that these lands remain safe and beautiful. The preservation of the land is why I have come to the port of Celondim. My brethren and I have been looking into recent events in a glade to the north. I'm here to enlist any willing to go there and assist us in discovering the source of an infestation of sickle flies among the trees to the west and southwest of the port. If you're willing, remove the threat of the sickle flies from the trees and report to Avorlas at Nen Hilith to the southwest. And we can also barter with him.
Melon. How may I be of service?
So let's just get these essences.
A shadow is on my spirit.
Ah, hello there. We have not had time to get acquainted. My name is Carnivore, and you are?
Might you spare a moment of your time?
I have heard that you are well travelled. Perhaps you have seen my son Avorthal on your journeys. I received a message from him saying that he was coming from Duillond to visit, but he has not yet arrived. That is most unlike him. In his journeys here, he oft speaks with the travellers along the road and visits the Vale of Nen Hilith with a friend of his, a dwarf named Athol. Athol watches the road and helps the few dwarf travellers who come to Celondim. Perhaps Avorthal is speaking to him now and has simply forgotten the time. Would you seek him? Head across the woods southwest of Celondim to the Vale of Nen Hilith. There is a small camp of elves there. If you do not find Avorthal there, perhaps you will find Athol. If so, speak to Athol and see what news he may have of Avorthal. I think there's also one more quest.
Greetings, friend. Will you lend me your ear?
This is a beautiful land, is it not? I wandered it often in my youth, but places that were once fair have long since fallen into decay. Some of the older ruins have even become habitations for foul creatures that gnaw at the edges of our lands. My brothers and I have set to ourselves the task of cleansing a few of these places before we leave. To this end, I have in my possession a token given to me by Elrond Half-Elven long ago. It is imbued with a light the creatures of evil find painful to bear. The ruins of Tham Gelair, west of Celondim, have become infested with foul creatures. If you could slay any you find within, and then place this token there, its light should keep them from slinking back into the night. Okay, first things first, let's go and defeat these veil flies. I kind of went the long way around, but never mind. A wolf. Those are both wolves. And we have a deed to do our class deeds. More class deeds. Oh, something I forgot to say is that I actually did level around the time when I was making my outfit. And that is because I handed in the crafting quest because I didn't see any point in actually reading the crafting quest since they're mostly tutorials. And I'm not going to be doing any crafting on this character anyway. I already have several characters on this server that I do some crafting on. Once in a blue moon, anyway. Oh yeah, I forgot about my decoy. Traps. Damn, I'm really not doing this yellow line justice, am I? Oh, a tripwire. Tripwire trap can knock down a monster. Remains for 1 minute. Let's try it out. Oh, we can't choose where to place them yet. But that is just where I need it to be. What's this? Class deed? Class deed. Looking closely at this crude collar, you can see that this is not the handiwork of the elves or dwarves. Perhaps a Vorlas will be able to discern some measure of insight from the collar. You should deliver it to him at the elf camp on the northern edge of Nen Hilith. Ouch.
Megovanen.
I know this handiwork. It is the handiwork of goblins. We must inform the others in Celondim. If the goblins have grown this aggressive, then we must do what we can to drive them back from our homes.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
We cannot let another moment pass without informing others of the arrival of the goblins. Perhaps Lord Doronga's protection is weakening as we make our way to the shores to depart. Or perhaps the enemy grows stronger, faster than we expect. Regardless, Celeth, we must send word back to Celondim and my superior there. Quickly, return to Lenin at the Glade Watcher at Celondim and tell him of what you have found. You will find Lenin at the docks in Celondim, northeast of this vale.
What do you need?
Megavonen. Lenin had you fighting back the Sickleflies. good. It has become necessary to drive them out of the forest lest they kill the trees. Your aid will be welcome here, Celeth, for there is much to do. Let's take his bow.
Stay a moment.
Your arrival heralds a time of hope. We have yet to discern what caused the wolves to empty into this valley. Perhaps with your assistance we will soon learn the reasons behind the invasion. The two other Glade Wardens here, Glavrolen and Helhathel, will explain the tasks that I have set before them. See to their requests and earn their favor, and you shall have mine.
Greetings, traveller.
Nay, I am still here waiting for Avorthal. He requested I meet him here at the Vale of Nen Hilith and has yet to arrive. I meant to enter the Vale myself, but the elves bade me not enter, and being that Avorthal is not here to speak for me, I dare not risk angering them. I am sorry that I cannot be of more help to you or Lord Cadaver.
I would be grateful for your assistance.
It is not like Avorthal to be late, at least not without sending word, nor to put aside his usual habits. Still, he has spent much time in contemplation in recent days. When Avorthal desires solitude for quiet thought, he spends much time beneath the white trees in this vale. Perhaps he is amongst them now, unbeknownst to anyone. Would you go there and find him? I would, of course, but I shall not defy the will of the elves. Make your way into the Vale of Nen Hilith and search for any signs of Avorthal. I pray you find him hale and hearty, but if not, perhaps you will find some sign of him, even just his pack. Let's talk to these other elves as well. Glavrolen.
Will you lend me your ear?
Our efforts here are to recover the land from this new threat, that is clear. We are also here at the behest of our kinsman. In Celondim there is a Vinter who wants only to make a final offering to store enough wine to survive our journey to the west. I have offered to recover enough wood to build such a cask. You will need to search the wood in this vale for wood that has not been spoiled by the sickleflies or the wolves. Return to me when you have collected enough sturdy pieces of wood, and I will grant you my favour.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
May Gavanin, Hunter, I overheard your discussion with Avorlas and hope that you are willing to assist us. This vale was once a place of inspiring beauty where we could come and commune with nature. It has fallen far from those days since the incursion of those wolves. It is unclear where the wolves came from or why they chose to dwell in this valley, but it is clear that they must be removed to ensure that nature can return to its balance. Enter the valley and destroy the wolves to ensure the future of the valley. Return to me when you have completed this task, and you will have earned my favor. Kill wolves, pick up wood. Sounds easy enough. I already see some lumber over here. Don't think there's any... Oh, there is some wood over here. This place is a lot different now. It used to be much more hilly. It's now been revamped. It's now very flat, and the lake in the middle is... I think they've made it bigger. I think they've made the lake bigger. It's actually a few years ago, I think, that they did this. It could be the same size. That wolf swimming. Oh. Nice. No points yet. Let's check on what we're earning though for this. I think we need to be focusing on determination to get some agility. That looks good. And we've got this focus skill. So we can gain some focus before going into battle. Nice. We've got all of the stuff we need.
What can I do for you?
Nature calls once again from the Vale. I can feel it course through my being. We cannot rest on this virtue, but you have brought hope where there was sorrow, Celeth. You have earned my favor.
How can I be of service?
Yes, this wood will certainly do. This should please the Cooper and Vinter both. The white ships will certainly now be supplied with the finest wine from Ered Luin.
Will you lend me your ear?
Now that you have collected the wood, I would ask you one more favour from you, friend. The Cooper in Celondim, Brigadier, needs the wood to craft his casks. I would ask that you seek him out at the highest levels of Celondim on the tiers of the crafters northeast of this location. Deliver the wood to him that he may build a proper cask. I paused a second on that name.
Megovanen.
You've done well here, Celeth. We will keep vigil here at Nen Hilith. I think that you are needed elsewhere. We shall not soon forget all that you have done for us here at Celondim.
Well met, friend.
This is the Vorthal's pack, I am certain. I fear that something untoward has befallen my friend. Please, take this to Cardivore and tell him that I will do whatever I can to help find my friend, his son. Let's admire the scenery here. This place is actually one of my favorite regions in the whole game because it's so beautiful. The music is so nice.
Sweet-eyed melon.
More wood? Excellent! I have been kept busy enough to think I may soon need assistance. You have my thanks for this delivery, Celeth. This wood will serve nicely as a cask of fine elven wine.
May Govanen, might you spare a moment of your time?
Hunter, if you would take a moment, I have a request of you. A dear friend to me. Brethilwen. He's such a good friend, he does know how to pronounce her name. Sorry. A dear friend of mine, Brethilwen, spends her days tending the grapes at Limael's Vinyard to the north and west. She sent word to me not long ago that she required a cask for a special wine she wanted to present upon the white ships. I have crafted a cask for her, but need someone to take it to her since the preparations from our departure keep me very busy. Would you take the cask to her? You will find her to the north and west of Limael's Vinyard.
Hail, friend, and well met.
This discovery is worrisome. I will see that this information is passed along to Lord Duillond. We never would have learned of this if not for you, Celeth, who are in your debt.
graze the shadow upon my heart.
This is Avorthal's satchel. I am certain of it. Do you see this pattern on the side? Avorthal stitched that himself long ago. You bring me fell tidings, Celeth. You are sure that there were no other signs of Avorthal? Some sign that my son might have been hiding nearby, safe from wolves or other dangers, but too far away to reclaim his satchel? Nay, that is a weak hope, and I must not trust to it. Some foe has brought down my son, my Avorthal. That is the only answer.
Would you stay a moment and learn of my troubles?
The goblins have slain my son, Celeth, and for that we will sweep them from Ered Luin. No goblin will take as much as 3 steps into these lands before we are there to greet him with sword blade or arrowhead. Go forth and slay goblins wherever you find them, and cry aloud the name of Avorthal. I would have the foul creatures know whose doom has come upon them. While you were gone, word came to me that Limael's vineyard has been defiled by goblins, led by a vile creature called Pamparash. Seek out Pamparash and his minions, and slay them in the name of Avorthal. Limael's vineyard lies northwest of Celondim.
Greetings to you.
Your news gladdens my heart, Celeth. I am eager to walk among the ruins as I once did, with the sky over my head and the sun on my face. The cool shadows cast by the walls will no longer be a reminder of the shadow in the east, but of respite and restoration.
Celondim Duillond, will you stay a moment?
My brother, Celondim, is staying at Duillond, our refuge to the north. Like me, he also strives to restore the old places to their pristine state, and may need your help. Follow the road to the high ground above Celondim, then make your way north through a gap in the hills to reach the refuge. Okay, so we are almost on the way to Duillond. First, we will go to Limael's vineyard and take care of the goblins. I think we're gonna have to go up this ways. Can we get up there? Yes.
Greetings to you.
I only wish that this thoughtful gift from Brigadur did not arrive during such dire times. With the situation at the vineyard, I fear that the cask may go empty for our journey.
Celondim Again, will you stay a moment?
By this time of the year, most of the grapes have been picked and the wine already bottled. This was a very generous season, however, and many of the vines are still laden with grapes. I would welcome your assistance. Winemaking is not easy work, but performing this task will certainly add to your appreciation of the wine you drink. Harder still when nasty goblins find their way into the fields and drive you off. I think, though, that you might be sturdy enough to aid me. If you would, gather the grapes from the vines still hale and hearty enough, and I will see that this cask is filled with the finest this vale has to offer. The vineyard below us, and further to the west along the stone path. Be careful of the goblins. They are particularly nasty.
May Govanen, might you spare a moment of your time?
My friend, I wonder if I can ask you to undertake another task for me. Is it bad enough that the goblins despoil Limael's vineyard, but recently a party of the wretched creatures broke into an old wine cellar and stole a number of flasks of a rare and ancient vintage. No doubt the evil creatures have already drunk or destroyed most of the wine, but if you can recover any of the bottles from the goblins in this area, I would be deeply in your debt. You can find the goblins throughout Limael's vineyard. I would not venture beyond into the Rath Tereg, however, as the goblins there are rather more dangerous. They're like one level above us, but that should be okay. Maybe we could avoid some of them. Since we're definitely gonna be killing the amount that we need. Okay. Maybe we can get 2 of them. You know, it would be good if we actually equip the bow that we got given. And we've got some better shoulders. And we've got a better helmet, so hopefully we might have a bit more agility now. Well, definitely more armor. I'm not sure about agility. What was it? Shoulders. The bow is definitely more DPS. There's Pamprash. Nice! We get another point now. Damage over time or better mitigations? I think damage over time. And our barbed arrow will do a bit more damage as well. We need 2 more defilers and 1 more sentinel. So there's a sentinel. And here are 2 defilers. Oh. 3, okay. This should be interesting. Okay, the decoy is down. Nice. So the defilers. Let's get out of here. I have aggroed one. Oh god. Okay. Okay, I brought 3 with me. I think I'm gonna need a potion. Not too bad.
Hail, friend, and well met.
Ah, very good. You have done all that I could ask. Thank you for your efforts. Those wicked creatures will learn better than to raid my wine cellars in the future. And we got
Greetings
a
to you.
virtue. Fantastic. I think I can actually slot that now. We'll carry on earning it for now as well. Very good, Celeth. Years from now, your efforts today will bring great joy to many. Hard work brings satisfaction, not just in winemaking, but in all things.
You may be of service to me.
All filled and ready for delivery. I would like to thank you for your assistance, Celeth, as I would not have been able to see this last bit of harvest along without you. This cask is meant for another. However, I should like to see it sent along to my best friend, Brigadier. It was he who sent it to me, after all. Why should he not have the finest wine of the valley? If you would, take this back to him at Celondim. Follow the path to the east and turn towards the southeast across the bridge. You will find him at the Crafters Market. Let's see. Let's put those gloves on, and I think I will just sell everything else apart from that potion.
Hail, friend, and well met.
Yeah, I don't need any of that. We can also consume this virtue XP that I got when I logged in. And we got a bunch of more rewards. Nice.
Greetings to you.
Thank you, Celeth, and thank my friend Breathilwen for knowing my intentions. I understand that Breathilwen was beset by goblins, that you have fought off many to obtain this spirit. Know that it was for a worthy cause.
May Gavanen, might you spare a moment of your time?
Before you leave, Celeth, I have one more boon to ask of you. I promised a bottle of last year's vintage to a friend at Duillond to the north, and my labours kept me too busy to fulfil that pledge. I hope this has not inconvenienced her. Could you deliver this bottle to Dol for me? The refuge lies on the road that follows the river north beyond Limael's Vinyard. If you reach the dwarf port of Celondim, you have travelled too far north. Perhaps you should make use of the horse from here to Duillond. We got a message from Brethil then. I wanted to send you a bottle of the wine from Limael's vineyard. I thought it fitting that you should taste the vintage you helped prepare.
A shadow is on my spirit.
What is this? Pamprash said that my son still lives. Avorthal was not slain. My heart wants to believe, but believe the words of a goblin? Still, I cannot fathom why he would tell you this if it were not so. But if Avorthal is alive, then his capture does not bode well. I fear he will not live long while imprisoned by those outcast dwarves. They are no better than the goblins.
Will you stay a moment and learn of my troubles?
I have to admit, I completely missed that, that part where Pamprash said things. And it's too late now, so I'm sorry guys that I missed that. You have done so much for me already, Seleth, but there is still much that must be done if my son is to be restored. We have not had dealings with the dwarves for a very long time, and those are not pleasant memories. You were at Athelion, I believe. You remember Skorgrim's final attack on the old refuge, yes? Dwarves are scheming and self-serving, not to be trusted. We must gather our strength to lay siege to the dwarves of Ered Luin and rescue Avorthal from their clutches, but only Durunga Whitethorn, the master of Duillond, has the authority to muster such a force. Bring him the news of my son, that he is alive but a prisoner. We must strike at the dwarves before it is too late. Speak with Turon at the stable before you go. He will hasten you upon your journey. Oh.
Will you lend me your ear?
Hang on, let's see what he says about this
A
first.
shadow is on my spirit.
Cardivor was wise to send you to me. You should take a horse to the sanctuary at Duillond. They are swift and can cover distances more swiftly than our own feet. Speak with the stable master, and he will see you carried on the back of a swift horse. Move quickly. Avorthal's life is in the balance.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
Long have my brother and I dwelt upon these shores, and much have we seen in that time. Now the time has come for us to leave this place and sail into the west. My brother, however, does not see clearly and wishes to remain here. We have always dwelt together, and I could not consider a day in my life without his company and counsel. He is the cord which binds me to this middle earth. While he is of a mind to remain, I am forced to wait for him. If you would, go to Duillond and see if you can convince Brega to join me here at Celondim. It is time we begin our journey. The refuge is north along the road.
How can I be of service?
We might as well take the horse to Duillond then, since it's faster. And this way we can actually enjoy the scenery a bit. Since I won't have to concentrate so much. Here we are.
What do you need?
So, Tham Gelair has succeeded in driving the darkness back from Tham Gelair with your aid. I too have such a task before me, but alas, I have no trinket from Rivendell to aid me. I do know much of the herbs of these lands, however, and can mix a draught that should serve to purify the nearby ruins. Will you lend me your aid in this endeavour?
Stay a moment.
You have decided to help me? Excellent! There is a draught I know the making of that should cleanse the taint from the ruins of Dol Ringwest. I have most of the ingredients I need, but there is one remaining. A fragment herb that grows on the shores of the river running north to the south below Duillond. It is a simple matter to gather it, and I would do so myself, but the brewing is a delicate stage right now, and I must keep a close eye upon it. Would you gather the herbs I need, Celeste?
Sweet-light Melon.
Splendid. I must admit that I wondered if perhaps Fregadur would come through on his promise. I should have known that he would not forget a friend. Ah, this vintage has the promise of aging nicely. Perhaps in some 30 years it will have aged sufficiently. You have my thanks.
Grey is the shadow upon my heart.
My brother wishes to leave Middle-earth, but I believe it is time for us to stand our ground against the shadow growing in the east. With your help, perhaps, Turon will see reason. This Middle-earth, which we love, will soon face great peril, and we are bound to defend it. I cannot yet sail west.
Will you hear my sorrows?
Turon must know that while I remain behind, I will ever be with him. To do this, I will need your aid. So much of this land has been our shelter and teacher, and our memories are filled with moments of joy and laughter because of this land. I think perhaps my brother will appreciate this well enough to see me on my journey as he begins his own. In the ruins of Dol Ringwest there lies a sword upon a stone cairn. Born once by Dunedain, we fought beside in defence of our homeland. I may be able to remind my brother of our duty to Middle-earth. My duties here will not allow me to leave, but I hope you will see the need I have to seal this rift between my brother and me. Will you help me?
Will you stay a moment and learn of my troubles?
Ancient battles were fought at the ruins of Dol Ringwest, and we had thought the evil purged. Now, goblins toil within the ruins and just desecrate the memory of the place. I would ask that you would do your best to clear the goblins from these ruins. It will ease my heart, perhaps aid my brother Turon to leave in peace. You will find the goblins in residence of Dol Ringwest to the west of Duillond. Please, make your way there and drive these foul creatures from the ruins.
What do you need?
Your news is troubling, Celeste. The dwarves to work peacefully with goblins is unusual enough, but to conspire in the abduction of an elf prince seems foolhardy, even for them. I will not call our warriors to arms just yet. Gardevoir is full of anger, which is to be expected, but as master of Duillond it is my duty to exercise restraint. If the dwarves have indeed taken a Vorthal, we will fall upon them with such fury that the mountains shall shake at our passing. But this could also be a trick of the goblins. They would have much to gain from a war between elves and dwarves.
Mind my words, traveller.
Nice. Level 10 already. I have dispatched an emissary to the dwarf city of Gondomar to relax the growing tensions between elves and dwarves, but I fear rumour of a Vorthal's captivity may prove too great a strain for her to ease. Journey north and west along the road to Gondomar and tell Gaelthin what has transpired here. Together, you and she must learn the truth of a Vorthal's whereabouts and rescue him, if indeed he is a prisoner of the dwarves. I do not wish for war until we are certain of his fate. If a Vorthal has been harmed, or we are unable to free him, I will call our warriors to arms, but not before. And that's epic battles, which we will not do yet. because we are nowhere near ready for that. But you can do the tutorial at level 10. I don't think it's worth doing right now. Oh, we have a new skills. I wonder if we have some new trait points. No new skill points. Not yet, anyway. Let's hand this one in first before we go to Dol Ringwest.
Govanen.
Ah, there, just in time. The last step of the process is to add the herbs you have collected for me. After that, it is simply needs to steep for a few minutes, and the draft will be complete.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
The draft is ready. All that remains is for it to be sprinkled upon the ground within the ruins of Dol Ringwest. It will encourage and speed the growth of the natural vines that one often finds in such places. So much so that by the end of this next spring, the ruins will be buried in a great mass of them. In but a short time, they will reduce the ruins to naught but rubble, returning them to pristine nature once again. To you, I offer the honor of this task, for I find now that I cannot bring myself to destroy the place that I once loved so, even in its decrepit state. Pour the draft onto the ground beneath the two towers that remain standing amongst the ruins. Time and the forces of nature will do the deed, with no further help from us.
Stay a moment.
My duty to this land will not be complete until the terror that brought ruin here is ousted. Your efforts thus far have been in earnest, and prove that you too desire to see the land restored and cleansed of the evil wrought hereon. While in the ruins, I would ask that you seek out the leader of the goblins there, Durglup. Sorry. He is a particularly nasty goblin and should not be underestimated. You will find this creature within the confines of Dol Ringwest, to the west of Duillond. Return to me when the beast is slain. Okay, let's find Durglup. What a great goblin name. I like to switch targets between them because then they can start taking damage over time. Like one there just died and I think I only hit it like twice. Though I'm sure my decoy... No, my decoy doesn't actually do any damage right now. These goblins seem quite weak though. Using the first draft. Done. Second tower is over there on that side. Oh. Might as well gather a couple of them. Don't want to anger the one I just stunned. That would be bad. Nice. Stone Karen is there. Khan. You found the broken sword. I think I'll wait a moment for my health to go up. My morale, rather. Might as well use one of these regenerative foods since they're only tier 1. Also got an earring that I can use and a cloak. I think that's it. Can I open my present? Nothing there that's really helpful. Right, there's no way of just doing one at a time, so let's go all in. And using the second draft. All done. Oh, 2 more here. Maybe we can use the decoy. Might still have some life left. Wow, it actually does. Oh, now it's gone. It almost lasted that whole fight there. It was great. There's Durgle. Nice, my decoy's taken some aggro. No healing today. And we've done our Goblin Slayer tier 1. We've unlocked our advanced. Means I should have got some nice XP. Still quite a bit of the way to level 3. Actually, I don't think that you do get it from the tier 1 of the deed. I think you only get it from the second tier of the deed. So never mind. Still, I don't think that's too bad.
How can I be of service?
It is good to know that the threat posed by this creature is no more. I thank you for your efforts there. I will ever recall your deeds this day, Celeth.
What do you need?
Thank you, Celeth. It pains me that I shall never again walk among the spires, which I remember from my youth. But better this than to leave Middle-earth with the knowledge that they are a home for creatures of darkness.
Will you lend me your ear?
As Tham Gelair sent you to me, so might I ask a favour of you. Our youngest brother has also taken this on us upon himself, and likely requires aid as he has not yet returned to us. If you can help him, I would be grateful. Be warned that the lands of Hordlin to the north are considerably more dangerous than our domain, and our brother is likewise of hotter temperament, as befits his task in that place. I last saw him amongst the ruins near the shore of the Grimwater, a small lake northeast of the dwarf outpost we call Gondaman. He is likely still there.
Grey is the shadow upon my heart.
The memory of that place will always be one of melancholy. Knowing that the goblins have been purged restores a small amount of hope to me, Celeth. You have brought a timely resolution with regard to Dol Ringwest, and I thank you for this.
The sorrows of the Eldar are never ending.
This blade means much, broken and dulled as it may be. Alas, the passage of time does little to dull my memories of that battle. Perhaps I have underestimated the importance of brothers.
Will you stay a moment and learn of my troubles?
There we go. Now we get the XP. I did not think that the sight of this blade would move me so. This belonged to a friend of ours, a Dunadan, named Thorum. He died helping us defend Dol Ringwest many long years ago. We buried him and built a cairn where he fell in honour of his sacrifice. Perhaps Turon is right. There are many harsh memories here. In the west, we would be free of such pain. His sword deserves a better home, away from the goblins that loot the dead. Bring it to Langless at Thrassy's Lodge, north of here, along the road and west of Caladul. He is a ranger of the north and will keep well the history of his kinsmen. I will send word to my brother. And I think that we are done here in Duillond. So I am going to be ending it here. And I want to thank everyone for watching and hope you all have a great rest of your day. Bye!